For those that don't know, I am a former on-air personality. I go by Tez, aka Mr. He Did It. And as I transition into this podcast space, what better way to get comfortable than to do it with the people that I am most comfortable with? So I reached out to my former coworkers at 105.7 The Beat in Meridian, Mississippi, now known as 95 The Beat. Meet Casual. What's happening?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm finally getting outside. This is like the second day I've been outside since March. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
I got a real shirt on. I don't know how to act. I just came from somewhere else and, he was like, hey, let's go now. So I just pulled over in the parking lot. I'm not staying in this hotel I'm standing in front of. I'm just in the parking lot.
I don't know now. Hey, somebody gonna see it and say, what was you doing at the hotel? I'm saying.
I ain't got nobody to check in on.
Like checking up on you?
Yeah.
All right. What we gonna do here, man, we're gonna take it way back. Then we're gonna come back to the present time. We're gonna start with this. What was your introduction into radio?
What was my introduction into radio?
Yeah, what was your introduction into radio?
Well, I went to Grambling for mass communications, concentrating in broadcasting. So I wanted to do that. I tell people this story a lot. This is like an embarrassing story on why I wanted to do radio.
I definitely want to hear it then. Come on.
I originally wanted to go to school for theater. I was going to be a theater major. But like the summer before I went to school, or I don't know if the summer or the winter, but I did a play at church. And forgot all my lines. I had like little kids telling me, my lines. I'm like, I should know this. Like, I'm going to school for theater in the fall. And I was like, I guess theater ain't gonna be it for me. So I started scrambling, and my radio influence came from Greg Street. The summer before I was going to school, I'm still scrambling, like, I don't know what I wanna do. I'm driving, and I see the radio station van, K104 radio station van, in the cut somewhere. And I'm like, okay, Greg Street, I rode in the streets. That's cool. On side of the truck was like the thickest, finest.
Here we go. It's always a chick got something to do with it.
This is where it goes down here. I mean, it was like the hottest woman I've ever seen in my life. And she had on the smallest pair of shorts I've ever seen in my life. And she was leaning over into that radio station van, just smiling and giggling and laughing it up. That could have been his cousin. That could have been his stepsister. It could have been anybody. But at that point, I said, you know what? I'm doing radio. That's it. I mean, I gave up all other hopes and dreams of doing anything else. And because of that girl talking to Greg Street in that radio station van, I said, yep, that's what I'm doing.
So where did theater come from?
I was in a play in high school. And like, that's where that acting bug caught me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you did good in high school, you just couldn't do good at the church.
I did good in that play in school. Cause I ain't had that many lines, but I was on stage the whole time. It was an hour-long play. It was a Christmas play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can dig this. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. You know what I'm saying? The whole part of practicing and from day one, remembering your lines, dry run, dress rehearsal and all that.
Right.
Like, I could do this. But then I did the little church play. It was about 10 minutes long. And I forgot every line. I was like, nah, maybe acting ain't gonna be it. And then I started thinking about, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do Shakespeare and all that stuff. I didn't want to have to, I wanted to come in, it's like, bam, I'm famous. But
right.
That was gonna be a process, so.
Man, one of a guy, man.
Yeah, it was God and that girl in the short.
So after you seen the girl in the shorts, you end up going to school for broadcasting. What was your first job? I'm sure y'all had some classes where y'all practiced at the actual school, but when you got out, where did you go? How did you get your first radio job?
There was since I decided to go for broadcasting and decided to get the radio, there was an interest meeting for the radio station at the college on campus, KGRM. And it was like, okay, if you want to get on the radio, come to this interest meeting. I'm in broadcasting. Right. To be on radio, we got a college station, so it only made sense. So I go up there and this guy, he was like the popular DJ on campus. His name was Randy Rand. I want to say he was from St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, he's from Missouri. He did all the parties and did everything. He was like mixing on the radio station and all that. He was the guy. And so I came to the interest meeting. He said, hey, if you want to be on the radio, man, I do a show on Wednesdays called Way Back Wednesdays. This was before Throwback Thursday.
Okay.
He was like, come up there and I'll train you. And he had a little sidekick with him. And he was like, yeah, you come up there with us. Like, okay, cool.
That's how he sound?
Yeah. So I go up there. I go up to the station on that Wednesday, and Randy wasn't there. It was a sidekick.
Uh-oh.
Dude named DJ JT. Yeah, that JT.
JT?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
he was the sidekick.
Oh, wow, you know? The history. That's what I'm talking about.
So I got in, he was like,
wow.
A crash course, like, we were playing CDs at the time. We had 2 CD players, a record player, and a reel-to-reel machine. He was like, this the mic, this reel-to-reel, this CD1, CD2. You got it? Yeah, I got it. He said, good. And what I'm saying, we had a phone at the station with free long distance. This was before cell phones. So, what I'm saying, we had the phone at the station with free long distance. So, yeah, we on that. So he was like, you run the show. Don't fudge up. Only he didn't say fudge.
Right.
He goes out of the room, talk on the phone, probably can't get to somebody long distance or whatever. I get up. And we got 2 CD players, CD1 and CD2. They wasn't labeled. One of them was open and one of them was playing a CD that was on the air. No, both of them were closed. But one
was playing.
They were both playing, but it was only one playing on the air. It was on my job to figure out which one was playing on the air. Had to hit stop on one of them. Yeah, hit stop, music just goes dead. Here comes little DJ JT. Man, what you doing in here? I don't know. So, it all worked out, in the long run. I stayed up there.
That's hilarious because that's how you used to do me, so it feels good.
Yeah, that's like the first thing I did on the radio was mess up. It's like, don't F up. Like, all right. He left out the room. I was like, uh-oh.
That was on the college one, right? Your first time?
Yeah.
You actually got a chance to talk. So you were from the college to your first radio gig. Where was this at?
Okay. So there was a station in Monroe, Louisiana, 100.1 The Beat. Those guys, the program director, Chris Collins, and the guy that did nights, his name was Gravedigger. They came by the college. So I went up to Chris and Grave, was like, I'm real interested in doing radio. I gave him my air check tape. It was on cassette, gave him my air check tape and my resume.
And you was already prepared.
Yeah, I mean, it was mass communication week. That's what you do. This is when you try to get your job. So, I was ready.
Okay.
And so, weeks go by.
Kind of like a job fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weeks go by, months go by, never heard from him again. And by this time, that little DJ JT, they started working up there. So it was like 30-minute drive from the campus. I finally got me a little car.
Yeah.
And drove up to the radio station, just to say, hey man, I met you at the college fair, the whatever it was, the mass communication week. And I just wanted to know, what's going on. Those days you go pursue your jobs face to face. And the crazy thing is, I wasn't even looking for a job. I'm just looking to be an intern. Like, he didn't even call me back to come work for free. Yeah. I mean, no contact after that. I just went up there and tried to get something. And I went up, ran, and JT told me what days that they were on the air. So I went up there with them. But before I go any further, JT is probably going to tell you a story that I got him fired on the college station, which is not true.
I need to hear this one. How'd that happen? I'm going to see if his story match.
All right, we'll rewind to that one. All right. So it was homecoming. I want to say 97. By this time, JT was real popular on the campus.
I'm a homecoming in college?
Yeah.
Yo, oh man, you old, bro. I was still in high school, but go ahead.
He had he made it up to be, have a little name for himself. I'm thinking he may have been Jigga by this time. He had stopped being DJ JT with the airbrush hat. He may have been Jigga by this time.
Okay.
But he was mixing for me on the station. And he would do a mix at home, put it on reel to reel, and then bring it to the station. And so it was during the mix. It was homecoming, and they were at a club. And I'm a young dude on the radio. I don't know no better. They like, yeah, we're gonna broadcast live from the club. That's what I was used to. Word, let's do it. So we going out to the club with Rand and JT. What's up? They took a smooth break. I mean, they killed it. But kind of wasn't authorized by the operations manager. They had no authorization to do that live broadcast. Like they wasn't supposed to be doing that remote from the club. They just said, "Hey, we gonna do it." And I'm the little dude. I don't know no better. Like shoot, JT and Rand told me that's what they doing, so that's what they doing. And so I got a little call on the little hotline. Don't you say nothing else on that radio. And you tell JT and Rand to come to my office. But they called back in for the next one because they did so well on the first one. Like, we can't do that. And she told y'all to come up here. So that was the last time we didn't broadcasting on KGRM. But it wasn't my fault. They said, we're going to call in, turn me up. They called in, I turned them up.
Right, okay.
All right, but fast forward back to Monroe. I drive up there to go just to see if I could work for free. And I get the program director.
Push a couple buttons, get some coffee.
Yeah, something. I met the program director. I'm like, yeah, man, I met you at the Radiothon. I was trying to know, if I could come be an intern.
Right.
Here comes JT around the corner. JT's like, oh, man, what's up? Program director, Chris Collins, said, hey, oh, you know him? He said, yeah, he cool. He said, oh, okay, you can come up. And that was my interview. That was my chance to get on to come work for free because I knew JT. And like JT did the street team at that time. And all I did was ride in the streets with him and pass out CDs and T-shirts and all that stuff. It wasn't too long after that, somebody quit. And I was able to do the Thunderstorm, the weekend show on Friday and Saturday nights.
So the same setup as Meridian, Friday night from 8 to, I think it was 10 to 12, and then Saturday night, 8 to 12?
Yep, those were the hours I was getting. I was getting 12 hours a week, $60 a week.
Ooh-wee.
And I was, I was driving up there to do it. 30 minutes.
You was happy with it. You were doing something you love.
Oh, it was all right. You know what I'm saying? The guy who did it before me, like I thought he was like that guy. He would do impressions and like he made a whole show of it. And I always told everybody like I could do any show up there except the Thunderstorm because he got the characters. Like so he would do like whole skits by himself.
Right. That's how I felt about Big Grip. I couldn't take his place. I said, this dude got a raspy voice. He rap. Yeah. Dude, ain't he had Big Grip in your radio? Bruh, I can't even do it.
You came at a bad time because you was no Big Grip. Somebody said he ain't no Big Grip.
You know what I'm saying? I heard it so many times. Hurt my heart, man. All right, so you take over the Thunderstorm, you start doing good, you make a name for yourself, then you move to what after that? What position?
After that, one of my teachers, one of my instructors at Grambling, his son became program director in Texarkana, Texas. His name was Sean Michaels. Okay. My instructor referred me, and I felt like, you know what I'm saying, that was big. You know what I'm saying? Right. He referred me to get a full-time job with his son, who's, I'm saying, the station is going to be on our backs. Like, I thought that was cool. Right. He gave me that opportunity, so I went to Texarkana, Texas. I was making, like, they had a bidding war for me, right? I thought I was kind of, thought I was all right. It was a low bid, but nevertheless, it was a little bid.
It was a bid. Somebody was fighting over you, made you feel good.
Yeah. So I ended up working for $15,600.
Oh my God.
$15,600 a year.
So you live with them too then, right?
No, I had to get my own spot. That's the way I ended up in Meridian because, you know, $15,000 a year, it ain't much in your checks.
Right.
Every 2 weeks. So I would get up every day, like check to see if my phone was on, flick the lights to see. Because, you know, them bills was like, we don't care what you're making, this is what we want.
Exactly. So this is what we need right here.
Yeah, I got the call saying, hey, we're about to start a station in Meridian. Do you want to come? Yep.
So the same people that owned the one in Texas own the one in Meridian? No,
the people who I worked with in Louisiana, in Monroe.
Louisiana.
That was affiliated with the station in Meridian. The brother that I worked with in Louisiana, his brother had the station in Mississippi.
Okay.
And the guy who hired me, Chris Collins, he was the consultant. And so he offered me the position to come to Meridian. And I was like, life's about to get cut off out here. Might as well.
Might as well. So at this point, do you know Mr. C?
Mr. C worked in Monroe. He's from Monroe. He worked at another station called KYEA. They were our direct competition.
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying? You know, in radio, you kind of got an ego. You think you're somebody.
Right.
And you know, so our station was a top station for years. And so Mr. C was working at the other station. So he was like, oh, little dude from the other station.
I know he hated that boy.
Oh, yeah, he was a little dude. I mean, they were so, I don't want to say they was whack, but.
Yeah, without saying.
I turned over there one night. As a matter of fact, the reason I got the job at 100.1 in Monroe, the guy that I replaced, he went to that other station. He was going to be the guy on the other station.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so he would do this thing called Ladies' Choice or Ladies' Night or something, and he would sing on the radio, like, had a little Ladies' Choice theme song.
Bruh, sound lame.
So I clicked up. I mean, dude was talented though, but he just had some little things. He tried a lot on the radio.
He had some gimmicks, basically.
Yeah, he tried. Okay. Some of them worked, some of them, didn't go so well, like the Ladies' Choice. I thought that was whack. And I click over one night, I hear Mr. C singing with him.
What?
Yeah.
Literally singing with him?
Like singing. Ladies Night, Ladies' Choice, something. Yeah.
Bruh. Bro, I wish I had that on tape, bro.
I do too. So when I got ready to leave, Monroe to go to Texarkana, they asked me if I knew anybody who could replace me. Like, nobody can replace me because I'm me. But if you just got to find somebody, right. Let's rescue that little Mr. C dude over there singing the little guy song. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he came in. I actually trained. Jigga told me to train him because we were still doing the thunderstorm on the weekends. Jigga said, train Mr. C on how it's supposed to go. So he come in there. I'm trying to show him the ropes. But at that time in Monroe, the biggest thing you could do on your show was have like the listener drops were like, yo, this so I'm on the south side. So that was like the big, you had to have the hottest drops. If you ain't had no hot drops, you might as well not be on the radio.
Right.
So I'm trying to show Mr. C the board and all this stuff. By the time he got hired, he's like, yeah, it's cool. I could drive the van, right? So yeah, I'm going to get some drops. Okay.
Sounds just like him, boy.
So I mean, just no training. He figured he was Mr. C. He got it. He going to get him some drops. So I leave that next weekend, his first weekend on the air over there. Jigga called me, cussed me smooth out before I could say anything. I was like, what? What's going on?
Hey.
Man, Mr. C don't know nothing. He don't know what he doing on his radio. What did you show him? I said, shoot, he had to go get him some drops.
Hilarious, man.
I'm a dude. He was like, he wasn't paying attention to nothing. I'm like, yeah, this is how we do this. This is what this is. Yeah. I can drive the van. Yeah, I'm going to give him some drops.
Bruh.
I'm leaving.
So prior to that, y'all hadn't had any conversations while he was on the other station and you just heard him and said, hey, go hire that dude? Or had y'all had some spoke or just out and about?
We spoke like, in passing.
Yeah,
like I'm saying, like we were street teams were heavy in Monroe. I mean, radio was real competitive in Monroe, and the street team was a big deal. So I was on the street team, and he was on the street team for the other station. Like I seen him, I'm saying, we wasn't gonna fight or nothing. I'm saying, I was seeing him like, okay, what's going on? And he always told me there was another guy that worked with us named KB. He said, yeah, I thought you was KB, little dude. So I was like, oh, so so I was a little dude at the beat to him, and he was a little dude at KYA.
Right. I just think pretty dope, man, how you didn't really know him, but you say, hey, you recommended him. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty dope.
I mean, he was over there singing on the radio, but he needed to get out of there. I didn't want him to end up like that.
Was Meridian your first PD position?
Yeah, I came to Meridian to just do nights at first. And at the program director that was on the air, he ended up giving up that position. Huh?
Who was the program director then? Somebody from the what's the other station in Meridian?
No. He was from Laurel. His name was Jay Mack.
Okay.
He was.
I don't know him.
Yeah, I got in. He showed me everything he knew, man. He took me up on his wing, like, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. Okay. Like, all right. I got to go get some drops though. No.
And but come back, you don't know nothing.
I came up. I did nights. And my first night on the air in Meridian was weird because Cynthia was working up there, and they had just switched the station from old school to hip hop.
Yeah. Okay.
And like they didn't tell Cynthia that somebody was gonna come up there. Like I came in, she like, hey, so can I help you? So yeah, I'm on the radio right now. Like that's how I met Cynthia.
Wow.
Yeah. Like it's kind of awkward.
That's crazy. So she was the only one there when you got there. And the guy from Laurel.
I had went out and like did some stuff and told the guy I'd come back when my shift was on. He was like, okay. So I came back. She was there in the seat. I'm like, okay. Hey, lady. She's like, hey, boy.
Any memories of your arrival, your first impressions of the town or whatever, or you just like, you know what, I just need to get to work?
My first impression was I used to listen. Came up. I listened to Sly 104.9. That was the other station that you were talking about with Turntable and Baby Bruce.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That's it. Yeah.
I listened to that station and like I was with the consultant and he was like, this is the top hip hop station out here. And my first impression was like, oh, well, we gonna kill it. I mean, what I'm saying, like for what they were doing, they were great. But I knew the way we were about to structure the station, we was about to take over.
You know what year this was? Like 2000, 2001, too?
It was fall of 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think when did I start hearing about the station? Because I really didn't listen to it until D-Hug told me y'all tried to hire him. And either that or the talent show. One of them, I think he told me about the talent show or something like that. And that's when I first started listening to the station. Because I always thought about the other station you just talked about. Yeah,
I mean, they were the top station. They were the big dogs. And you know what I'm saying? We had to take them out. And when I became program director and moved up to afternoons, I hired Mr. C because he had gotten out of radio by that time. And he was like a security guard. No, he was working in jail or something. He was a CO. Fake Rick Ross.
I think he told me that. I remember that.
Yeah, so I pulled him from Monroe to get back in radio. And he would when it was time for his show, he would go upstairs. I had a little radio in my office. He would be upstairs listening to Turntable Genius like, dude, that dude killing. I can't beat them. Yes, you can. What? Get down there and do a show. Like he was scared, dog. He was scared.
You know how ironic this is, dude? I get it, but it sound like me when he left. That is crazy.
But because they were like I said, for what they were hot. They were playing whatever they wanted to. They had people on the radio back to back. I mean, they were jumping.
They used to have people coming in and rap, didn't they?
They did.
I think sometimes people just call in a freestyle.
Yeah,
I think I called in one time.
You probably did.
I did. I think I did.
But that was a thing to do, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I told Sid, like, bro, don't worry. We're doing a little something different. Just stick with the plan. We know it worked.
Right.
So it ended up working a little bit.
So at this point, is Cynthia? At this point, is Cynthia, you, Mr. C, and when the hot sauce come in, or Big Grip? Which one was next?
Let me see. Who came first? Grip came first because Grip came down with C.
Oh, at the same time? So C already knew Grip?
Yeah, C knew. They grew up together or something like that.
Okay.
And Grip was from Monroe. He came down here with C. And the thunderstorm came open. The thunderstorm came open because I wasn't going to do it. And C didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? C didn't want to do it. So he's like, yeah, man, I got somebody who can do it. And you know what I'm saying? Grip was rapping at the time. That's how he came down. He had a song on the radio called Uh-Oh.
You know what? I remember hearing that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember hearing that. Before I even knew who he was, I said, man, this song jamming. Who is this guy?
Man, let me tell you about that. That song blew up, right?
Yeah.
We brought him down here for a show. Somebody booked the Yin Yang Twins in Philadelphia. And they was like, hey, can y'all get that little dude that do the song Uh-Oh? We sure the hell can.
Exactly. We know the guy.
Yeah, so he got on the show. I think he's still preaching now, so. But you know what? I'm going to tell the story.
Tell the story. I asked somebody anyway.
He opened up for the Yin Yang Twins. Dude got sloppy drunk. Did his little thing. His first words when he came out the stage, because the crowd showed him love. This was Philadelphia, Mississippi. This is how he fell in love with everything out there. We was holding him up because he was so drunk. I love Mississippi, man.
Wow.
I love Mississippi, man. So he was like crying.
That's crazy. He just fell in love with Mississippi.
So he just fell in
For
love
real?
with Mississippi. Came back, started doing the thunderstorm.
Oh, so he did the show before he did Thunderstorm. Okay.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he opened up the Yin Yang Twins before that, didn't he?
Okay.
Yeah. Because the song was hot, and then everybody had their little catchphrases or whatever on the station. And so we just knew this Big Grip was gonna be because that's the song. And he started doing the Big Grip in your radio.
Right.
It's like that one thing wrong with the He's like, I don't want to be the man. Okay.
Wow. Well, whatever it was, it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
So you kind of got ahead of my question, and so somebody else brought the Yin Yang Twins.
Yeah, somebody else brought the Yin Yang Twins to it's like a Booker T. Washington High School or something in Philadelphia. Something out there in Philadelphia, like a gym.
So y'all hadn't gotten to that space yet where y'all brought your own artists yet.
We wasn't doing that yet. We were still trying to learn learn the city.
Yeah.
Because we still wasn't hot like that. We was okay on the radio, but if you wanted a party, you still booked Baby Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you remember the turning point where y'all was like, okay, I think we starting to, do something here? Or was it when the numbers came back, or did y'all roam around the city and people start, listening to?
I was doing street team at first. People wasn't used to that because, Slide, they wasn't in the city. Right. So they couldn't have a street presence. So I started doing street team, and then whenever C came out here, he started doing street team. And then we put Grip in the streets, it was over. It was over. Right. Grip was light skinned, so
So he just took over.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing we could do. After that, it just blew up after that. And I remember our first party, we really didn't, we came up, well, we listened to Jigga all the time.
Yeah.
Because, Monroe, Jigga was the man, hands down. So when I got out here, I was like, okay, Jigga gonna mix for us on the station. And so what we did at our first few parties was just, what would Jigga do? You know what I'm saying? WWJD, you know what I'm saying? So the whole stuff.
WWJD, stupid.
we didn't have turntables, and we rented equipment from this guy named Too Short. I remember
Too Short. I used to rent from him. That's how I met him, through y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
God, this history is amazing. But go ahead.
If it was not for Too Short, bro, we wouldn't have done nothing. He used to rent us some 5-disc CD changes. That's when we was renting the 5-disc CD changes, 2 speakers and an amp. And this girl named Baby D from Noxapata. She called C up and asked, can we DJ a party? He said, yep. So we had to do it.
You threw herself out there. Yep, we got it.
Do it. I think she got mad at us because we kind of didn't rock the party. But she didn't know it was our first party.
Was it that y'all didn't know what didn't know what to play, or is it?
We had 5 CD changes, bro. That's not really what you're supposed to be doing a party with.
Okay. I see what you're saying there. I see what you're saying. Y'all didn't have like the CDJs.
We know you're supposed to mix because, you know what I'm saying? Right. Coming up on Jigga, you're not just slamming records together. You got to blend it in. But with a 5-disc changer,
I
and you hit play and it's a delay, it's not going to really do what you wanted to do.
I bet she was hot.
And then you had the 5-disc changes. So if you didn't take a disc out, then you got 2 random discs in there. Like you hope you on the right one.
Bro, that is crazy. Y'all did what y'all had to do though. Y'all first party was that, and so how did y'all get into the club scene in Meridian?
Like I said, I met D Weezy, and D Weezy worked at the station for a minute.
Yeah, I remember y'all told me that.
Yeah.
This is why. What's that sinister laugh for?
Nah, D Weezy worked at the station for a minute.
I know y'all told me the story. I just can't remember what it is right now.
Now we had this little system up there called Wave Station, and you can have 2 songs open at the same time or it'll crash.
Yeah.
Every time D Weezy was on the radio, it would crash. He was in there. Oh, you can't knock him because, you know what I'm saying, we did all this stuff too. He was getting music for the club. You at the station. You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm saying? He was getting it in, like as you should.
Right.
So he would always crash the station. So, I had to no, we can't, you know, so we can't let you go. I want to say he was up there before Grip. Now, he was the first one to do the Thunderstorm, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about right. 'Cause I was gonna ask you, how did everybody coexist at the time? So he came before Grip. Okay.
He came before Grip. Yeah, he was doing the Thunderstorm. That's how Grip came up there, because I had to let D Weezy go. But it didn't stop, the Players Club, they still did their thing.
Right.
They stayed popping for a good little minute.
So you end up, you meet him, then y'all end up, or you end up DJing the Players Club, or was it?
No, I didn't DJ until C got here, and him and C, they clicked up for a second, and we started DJing up there. But that wasn't our first spot. I think the first spot we DJed was Midnight Sun.
Okay, that's the one with the frontage road, I think it was.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Not frontage road. B Street.
B Street. Yeah. B Street, close to frontage road.
Yeah.
How'd y'all get that leg?
Freeman
Walker Jr. I knew his name was gonna come up here somewhere.
Yeah, Freeman came up. He did some research on radio stations and all that. He was saying that he was a promoter. Like, okay. He was like, okay, I want to work with y'all. And I never forget, he had us like some little laminated passes. It's like, I got this party tonight. You can come through. The pass was about an inch long. It was laminated, unevenly cut.
Yeah.
I was like, what's this? He said, get it to the door. Get it to the person at the door. Y'all good for the night. And he had some dancers in there that night. So I put the pass in my pocket.
Yeah.
And it was all right. It was a little bit more clubbier, as far as look and presentation wise in the Players Club. Players Club,
really?
Anything goes, It was, you got a dance floor, a DJ booth, and people.
Right.
Midnight Sun, it was a little bit more structured, in the Players Club.
Yeah, so they both were coexisted at the same time?
Yeah, but
okay.
Midnight Sun only had, we'll call it urban nights, a couple days out the week. So with Freeman did college night, and that was their Black Night, yeah. Because the dude actually called it Black Night one night. I was like,
Black Night, bruh.
Yeah.
Don't do that, bro.
He called it Black Night while we was counting money, so it kind of passed.
Yeah, bro. So by the time I get there, y'all has taken over the city. I want to say I came to the Players Club with y'all before when y'all were DJing.
That was mostly C thing. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I
remember you being out somewhere like DJing.
I went a couple times to the Players Club, but now that wasn't. It was a spot, but like I said, I didn't go out, and I still wasn't consistently DJing at first.
So I remember seeing you at Nate's place for quite a bit.
That was a spot when he first opened up.
That was a spot.
When he first opened up, I don't know if you had went in there like later on where the VIP section was on the other side. But when he first opened up, like that was the stage. It was like 10 feet in the air. Yeah,
I remember that because I performed. I don't know if I knew y'all. I don't think I knew y'all, but I was with Homegrown Production. And we performed at one time. And when I tell you we were so high up in the air, dude, I'm like, can they even see us up here?
If you try to slap somebody five, you dead. You gonna fall in the
You know what I'm saying?
But I think our introduction to Nate's place was through Quack and East End Productions.
Yeah.
He booked us for like a Thanksgiving party. And we still didn't have...
It's crazy.
Man, let me tell you, the way people tie in, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. This is crazy.
Because Quack booked us. We still didn't have no equipment at the time.
Right.
Too Short was booked that night. But we took the gig, so we got to find a way to do it.
You got to figure it out, yeah.
So we reached out to the Hustle Man, bro. DJ Hustle Man out of Philadelphia.
Wow. I think I got some equipment from him too before.
He always told us, like, man, look, I got sound if y'all need it. Call him up, bro. We need you. So he's like, okay, bet. He came through. He had a desktop computer inside of a homemade desk.
A whole desktop?
A whole desktop.
But it was in back then, before laptops got popular.
We were still on CDs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, I got it. Y'all can do y'all thing. I got it. Okay, easy money. All right. And so I remember being in the party. C was at work, so I had to kick off the party until C got off.
Right.
Hustman had this little horn, a little air horn. So
bruh.
I was like, man, what's going on? Oh man, they love that. They love that. I'm like, you sure?
You sure it's just not annoying?
He was like, nah, they love that. And so he hit it one too many times, I guess. Quack came run up to the booth. Man, what's up with that damn horn? I like, Hustle Man said he loved it. I don't.
Hilarious.
And so C came a little bit later. Hustle Man still say he got it. Yeah. He's like, yo, what the fuck is that? Hustle Man said they love it. What you want me to do?
Bruh.
And so C started DJing, and it was, Hustle Man had so many songs on the hard drive where it kept crashing.
Yeah.
So
time out. So he literally brought a whole desktop.
Yeah, top to bottom, and you know flat screens wasn't out.
Yeah,
so he had a whole monitor, you know what I'm saying, in the club. And he you know what I'm saying, he built it inside of his case.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But I mean, it was bumping though. The speakers was on point.
Right.
But the computer kept crashing, and Quack was getting mad. He was like, "Man, look, y'all just play some Jelly CDs. Like, remember DJ Jelly was hot? I mean, y'all just put on some Jelly CDs. Like, nah, man, we about to DJ." He like, man, all right, man, but y'all got to go ahead and crank it up. So, you know what I'm saying? C got there, he cranked it up or whatever. That was our first big party.
Y'all weren't splitting doors by then, huh?
By then, yeah. Okay. Because that was Club 50/50. It wasn't even Nate's place yet. It wasn't even Nate's place yet. That was Club 50/50.
What? I've never heard that one. Wow.
Yeah, that was something
that must change names.
East End Productions had the spot first. It was Club 50/50. Yeah.
Damn, dog. I wonder if that went out the time I performed when it was Club 50/50. That's
probably
crazy.
So
we probably ran into each other and didn't know it.
I mean, they had the spot jumping. You know what I'm saying? East End Production they were known. You know, so they had it jumping.
That is crazy.
Are you about to get arrested?
Man, I live right off of Main Road. Dog. So you hear that all night, dude.
Get off Martin Luther King, bro.
Man, I know, right? Bro, this Middle Tennessee Boulevard where a college is, so you know this is a college town. Yeah. You know what's going down over there.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Club 50/50. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was Club 50/50. Quack put us on out there. We split the door because at that time, like we had really started like a DJ war with Bruce, like.
Yeah.
And Freeman started it. He was like, he booked us one time, so I'm gonna book y'all. Cause you know, if you book Bruce, you gotta give him half the door. So from that point, once he told us that, like, oh, they giving cats half the door? Okay. Right. So yeah, we started doing, like on big nights, it had to be a door split. It wasn't no, give me my DJ fee.
Yeah.
If that's what you give Bruce to come from out of town and do this. But Freeman was like, nah, man, you can't do nothing the same night Bruce do nothing.
What? Yeah, don't say that. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So that's when we started throwing concerts and stuff. Once Freeman told us that, like, we made it our business to go like directly after Bruce. Like anytime they did a party with Bruce, we threw a concert.
Wow. At Club 50/50 at the time?
It may have been Nate's place by then. I don't think 50/50 stayed around that long.
Okay.
Because you know what I'm saying? It's only so many people that's gonna come out.
Right.
There's only certain nights they're gonna come out. I mean, people came out for the Players Club, so that Nate's place in 50/50 building was so big. So right. Even if you had 200 people in there, I mean, they so spaced out, you had to have 700 people in there in order for it to be a party.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying, 200 people in there. I know on nights we DJed and it was 200 or less people in there. I'm like, bro, I'm ready to go. Play some Lil Jon, start a fight, let's get out of here.
Right. So who was the first artist y'all brought?
First artist we brought, Paul Wall and Chameleon now.
Wow.
They came down for
to
500.
To a booking agency?
Nuh-uh. C, I want to say we met him through David Banner.
Okay.
C got Chameleon that number. That's when, you know what I'm saying, that's when as an artist you had to be on the road.
Right.
So, I mean, we built a lot of relationships with artists. So, like, David Banner was like, it was like, you know what I'm saying, it would be like you come to the station for David Banner to come by the station. It was like, it's Banner, let him in. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing, it's our boy.
Freeman told me about how he used to come to the Players Club and he used to spit fire back then.
Bruh, he did a show at the Players Club. I interviewed him that day. I said, okay, so what do you do in your show? Why should people come out to your show? What are you gonna do that's so good? Because he prefaced it by saying, I'm the most phenomenal feat of all times.
He been saying that way back then. Wow.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so what do you do in your show that's going, you know what I'm saying, turn it out? I spit fire. So no, okay, I know you can rap, but I'm saying what you do in the show. He's like, no, I spit fire.
And the guy literally spit fire.
So I came to the show. A dude, he drove the van in the building. That was the first time.
Drove the van inside the building?
The van was parked on the middle of the floor in the building.
Bruh.
He tied a rope on the top of the building. You know, it had like the little rafters on the top.
Yeah.
He tied a rope to the building. Dude, he swung across the club.
What?
The banner was
this
wild.
Dude, wow.
The banner was wild. It was the time he did, they had a Freaknik in Columbus one time. And it was hot. They supposed to have like 2 Live Crew, Lil Jon.
The 2 Live Crew. In real life, 2 Live Crew?
Yeah, but it's stormed.
Minus Luke?
Yeah, minus Luke. It stormed that day though. And everybody left because it was outside. And so I had a cooler. We was backstage. We hosted it with some cats in Columbus.
Right.
This dude, for some reason, they had a corded mic. He got the mic, took my cooler that was full of water from the ice, and stepped inside and started rapping.
Wow.
But the sound man jumped back from the board like, bro, what's wrong with that dude?
Bruh.
Don't know.
That's crazy. I bet y'all got a ton of David Banner stories. So let's fast forward a little bit. Yeah, I had a talent show.
Okay, I remember that talent show. That's the one we had Hot Boy Ronald perform at, right?
I think so. It was at the place in the park.
Frank Cockerson.
Frank Cockerson, yeah.
Yeah, we brought Hot Boy Ronald from New Orleans down that day. Yeah.
Well, by this time, D Hug tells me that y'all were hiring or about to hire one. So I'm at the talent show. I'm like, hey, are y'all hiring? And he said, nah, not yet. You come back in a couple months, whatever. So I ended up coming back in a couple months. And you said, hey, take this piece of paper home. No, you said, come over here, do this air check real quick. So I don't know what an air check is. I'm like, what? He said, just read this. I read it. You like, nah, take that home. take that home and practice.
I remember that. It was not it. That was not it.
I'm like, bruh. So I go home. I'm in my living room just talking loud, just reading out loud. Then I just messed around and said, tell him T-E-Z, he did it. I said, I'm going to take that back to the station. Get back to the station. And I do it. And you look at me like, yeah, that's it right there.
Because everybody had their catchphrases. Yeah.
Right. I said, okay, this is my first groupie right here. Okay, my first groupie. I appreciate that, man.
Okay. And so you say you're looking for a D-Hug story, right?
Yeah. So that was my introduction to the station. But yeah, give me a D-Hug story, because I know he was in the mix in some of these parties that we just skipped over.
Man, D-Hug was cool, bro.
How did you meet him? He came in through D-Weezy and Freeman?
I actually don't remember. It was Freeman. He used to hang out with Freeman. He was part of the Freeman's promotion team. Yeah. And so we all rode to the parties together, whatever. But we were hiring. D-Hug was like, yeah, I can do it. I think because Grip left.
Yeah. That's how I ended up coming up there, because Grip left.
Grip left, so we were hiring. And so anybody that came up, I'm like, just take this paper, read this paper. And if it wasn't hot, like yours wasn't, I'm like, take it home.
Right.
And read over and come back and do it.
Right.
So D-Hug was like, okay, I got it.
I wish you would have recorded that air check. That would have been dope.
No, I recorded it, but I'm sure I deleted it.
Right.
It was like he was, when a Baptist preacher get in his mode, and you know what I'm saying, he really bringing it on home.
You know, Daddy was a preacher. Yeah, that's where it came from.
I heard it in that air check. I was like, nah, you can't preach to them, but they ain't gonna be here for that.
Hilarious.
But another story with D-Hug, bro. We like I told you, Banner was our boy, right?
Right.
So Banner like, I got this show at this club called Soups in Jackson. You know. So me seeing D-Hug, we ride out there, Banner like, okay, come by my house. You know, so while I get ready.
Yeah.
We go by. First thing first, David Banner walked through the house with this gun so big and just like, okay, I'll be back. is he about to rob us? Broke, you know what I'm saying? So he come back through like, all right, I'm ready. So we know he got the heat on him.
Right. Y'all protected.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know if we protected.
You don't know who the victim here.
We in Jackson, I don't know nothing about Soups. And from a couple of people that I did hear, you know what I'm saying, let them know we was going to Soups. They'd be like, watch your back. Watch your back. Yeah. We just saw the dude with the heat. So we get to the club. C had I want to say, either C or D Hug, one of them had a 2-door Expedition. It was C, because C was driving.
Yeah, that was C, that was driving. Okay, that was C.
C was driving. I'm in the passenger seat, D Hug in the back, but 2-door Ford Explorer. He in the back seat trying to holler out the window at girls. You in the back seat, calm down.
Hilarious.
So we riding by girl. Hey, shorty. They looking at me because I'm the face because he's sitting behind me. You're like, I'm sorry, I didn't say nothing. Man, we hop out the car. Somebody had a little whip on the side. You know what I'm saying, big rims or whatever. D-Hug walks up to the car like it's all good. Squat down beside the rims. Oh yeah, them 22s right there. Them 22s.
What?
Well, get away from that man.
Exactly. Like y'all was in the car bidding. I bet them ain't no 22s.
but he stayed. D-Hug, he went with us everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because him and C clicked up real tight. And he went with us everywhere. We did shows in York, Alabama. Like, bro, I don't know how much time you got. I got stories for, you know what I'm saying, for days. We did a show with Mr. Magic in York. D-Hug was there. He almost got into a fight with somebody. I think he like protected one of his sisters. You know how he was about his sisters.
Yeah.
I think somebody tried to holler at his sister. He was not having it.
Bruh.
I don't remember which sister it was, but whichever one it was, you wasn't finna do it tonight with
I know it. He used to come to church. We used to work the booth, the sound booth at church together. And he'd come to church every Sunday just telling me about the weekend. I'm like, bruh, y'all had some fun.
I remember we did a show at Midnight Sun with Pastor Troy. I want to say it was like for C's birthday or something.
Yeah.
I don't know who he called, but he called somebody. Tell everybody Pastor Troy is here. It's official. Pastor Troy is here. Like he let out the decree, you know what I'm saying? Like, hear ye type of thing.
Hilarious, that.
Well, I mean, it got packed as soon as he let out the word, so I guess he hit the bat phone. I don't know.
That's crazy, dog. What about the Midnight Sun? Not the Midnight Sun, the McIntosh Farm. I know Pastor Troy used to come out there a lot, didn't he?
Pastor Troy came to Mississippi a lot. Everybody,
right.
If you had a club or you threw a party, if you didn't bring Pastor Troy, you never threw a party.
Right. That's one of the crunkest parties I've ever been to, the Pastor Troy concert.
Man, which one? You can't say the Pastor Troy concert. Which one?
That's true. That's true, yeah. Bro. And to this day, I think if you play his music in the club, it'll still go off.
Oh yeah, and
like, the crunk era over.
Right. I knew about Troy. Like Meridian was on Atlanta and Memphis when I got there, and I wasn't hip to neither one. You know, so I knew 3 6 Mafia, but you know, whatever. Yeah. If it wasn't tear the club up, it's whatever.
Right.
Atlanta, T.I. was dancing on videos, but you know, what I'm saying, at that time, so I wasn't impressed by Atlanta. I was, you know, what I'm saying, No Limit was hot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when we got there, we had to adapt because, I mean, No Limit was cool, but they wasn't Atlanta or Memphis.
Exactly.
You know, they wasn't 3 6 Mafia or Pastor Troy. And like I said, we did the party with Quack. He told us to put on the DJ Jelly CD.
Because that's what was hot at the time. Well, speaking of T.I., I remember y'all threw me to the wolves. I'm sitting there, and you said, hey, you got an interview today. I'm like, I take it back. I was like, what? Because I had no idea how to interview nobody. And then y'all like, it's T.I. Like, what? Because you only got him for 5 minutes. And now, mind you, you just told me this. So how am I supposed to prepare for this 5-minute interview with T.I.?
You put it on live?
Nah, it wasn't live. You know, it was pre-recorded or whatever, but you know.
That was what I wanted to bring to the radio out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Dallas. Like I was used to, you know what I'm saying, big time radio. You got the stars on the radio. If you can interview somebody. And that's what I did. Like we were signed up through a service with BET where they had every now and then, if an album was dropping or if a movie was dropping, we could get access to like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
5-minute interview. with celebrities. So like I interviewed like Taraji P. Henson.
Oh wow.
Who else? I don't know. It was a bunch of people, but I think that was, and she wasn't big at the time. Like you talking about messed up. I couldn't say her name. She was in the Tyler Perry movie. That's how long ago. She was in the Tyler Perry movie. I didn't know her name like that. I think I'd call her Tajiri. Like I had.
Oh wow, yeah, you butchered that now.
I called her like 4 different things that wasn't Taraji. She corrected me twice, but it was recorded, so nobody heard that.
Exactly, you edited that part out. Now Cheryl Underwood, I interviewed Cheryl Underwood, and she was clowning on me, boy.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted, you know what I'm saying, like a big city feel, you know what I'm saying, in a small town.
Right.
Cause I never wanted to do like small town stuff. Like I could have made radio a lot easier than what I made it, but I didn't want to take the easy route like that.
Right.
So I tried to do different stuff. Like you know, like taking a bus load of people to Six Flags.
Me and Jenny James talked about that. I think I probably went to one of those because I had to work the weekend. I think it was called the Mystery Bus.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I can tell this story now. You didn't go on the Mystery Bus. We had some extra tickets. Me, you, and C went there weekend afterwards.
Oh, so you still in cars now?
Bro, I don't know why this car just went off.
Somebody in there hollering for help. Black guys in the parking lot, help us.
I just went in the building.
I thought I seen a white guy walk behind you.
Yeah.
So we went by ourselves?
Yeah. We had some extra tickets because everybody for the bus didn't show up because they didn't know where we were going until the bus took off.
That was pretty dope. That was big for the city, dog, for real.
Yeah, me, you, and C went down there next weekend. And there's the stories on that one too, because we went late. I think we drove to Atlanta to be at Six Flags for an hour, and then we went to Hooters.
Bro, I have no recollection of none of this.
Bro, I remember that was like the most beautiful Hooters I had ever been to.
Bro, I need to go get my brain checked out. So we ended up going to Six Flags by ourselves. Wow.
we were talking about going to Magic City. So we drove past Magic City, and he was like, "Nah, we just gonna go get something to eat and go back." We went to Hooters. It was on a Sunday because they closed early. We didn't know they closed early, and we stopped. We went and ate at Hooters, and we was just looking like, I know all these chicks going straight to Magic City after they leave here.
That's a transition. Start working at Hooters, straight to Magic City.
Right, it's like pre-Magic. Then when
right. Let's fast forward because we on that clock, but we can do this all night.
Yeah, so bro, I got a million of them.
So when I think C left before you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, C left before you, and I ended up taking over his shift. Did y'all think I was gonna fall flat on my face? Like this little dude he ain't gonna be able to do this.
No, I had a little confidence in you because you still had a name. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew Ted. You was, you know what I'm saying, you was sneaking your songs on the radio.
Sure was. And then my family be like, "You gonna play your song?" Yeah, I got it.
Right, you know what I'm saying? You and Crit sneaking y'all songs on the radio.
Exactly.
At that time,
dude,
so
let me tell you what actually motivated me, because I was petrified. But I remember Freeman and D-Hug and everybody was just sitting there talking, and they kept hollering about it's an open market now. You know, since C leaving, it's an open market. That's when I went in and did that intro. I'm telling you, man, that intro was so fire. People used to call it just to hear that. Like, people would call me and say, "Bruh, can you play your intro again?" Like, I wish y'all still had that. That, man, bruh. I mentioned all that.
You posted the No Problems.
I got that.
Yeah, so that came up on the Facebook memory the other day. I was like, "Oh, little dude used to rap for real." And what was the one that really was popping?
I Ain't Pimping, I Promise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still got that one too.
I thought you was gonna make it out the hood on that one, man. You let
I
us
did
down.
Too, man. You know,
you still had to go to work. But yeah, you did some stuff.
Tell you what you doing.
In a little free studio session, you put some stuff together.
Yeah, I did a little something in there, man. So what does Mr. C mean to you, man?
I'm more of a behind the scenes type of cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be out in the forefront. Right. I never wanted no big name. I just wanted to meet the girl in the little shorts.
Right. Back to her.
All right. You never forget your influences. And C was a hustler. You know what I'm saying? It was like, shoot, C was like, we got to go do that. So he went out and put that together. Like I said, he called Chameleon. He negotiated the deal for Chameleon to come down to do the party. He met Mr. Magic. He negotiated Magic to come down a couple times for us. Like, C was the hustler.
Yeah.
I was just the one to tell him, okay, you can and can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to, like, because it was a couple times, like, we were in a couple of meetings behind,
you had to give some boundaries.
Parties. Behind those parties, they had us in some meetings.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, we made a bunch of money together. We hung out like that was the crew, me and C.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Occasionally we had a D-hug, you know what I'm saying? Or like somebody, you know what I'm saying? Well, you came along, but the whole crew, like roster from top to bottom, me, Mr. C. I mean, that was it.
Yeah, that's it.
I remember one night, somebody came, one of the security guards came to the club, was like, hey, it's a dude at the door, say he came with y'all. You want me to let him in? I stepped down to go see who it was. I said, wait a minute. That dude ain't with me. I ain't know who it was. That dude ain't with me. Because I didn't go with nobody but C. So whoever that was, he might still be standing at the door waiting on me. But I
so y'all never let him in? Oh, wow.
No, I just knew, like, bro, I don't have no homeboys, you know what I'm saying, that I'm, hey, meet me at the club.
Right.
Yeah, I was just going to see, like,
I'm not even going to ask you a Mr. C story. It was like a trillion, billion, gazillion of those.
Bro, so it's uplifting stories, it's sad stories, the stories that could get us in trouble. It's stories, yeah.
Right. I tell people all the time, you learn so much about people inside that little booth, man. And we didn't cry together. You know, I learned about his past, bro. It's crazy, dog. Yeah. What you learn there. So what's your best and worst part of your experience in Meridian? You got the best and worst or no?
Best part of Meridian that I could admit to. I mean, the people welcomed me with open arms, bro. It's like, they thought I was a white dude because, you know what I'm saying, I didn't use slang. You know what I'm saying, I had a lot of people call me up and say, I don't mean to be offensive, but are you a white guy? Like, no, I'm not white. But they welcomed me with open arms, man. Like, that's what I can say to people. Like, I had hair back then, you know what I'm saying?
You had braids, you sure did.
I had braids and I needed somebody to braid my hair. That's how I met, she go by the Twist Diva now, Toya. She was like, man, I used to practice on your hair. So, I mean, she used to practice on my hair, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And now she like that chick on the braids, you know what I'm saying? Now I can't book her. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go by hair, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Now I'm gonna tell you something I learned from you. You would tell me all the time, if a girl call up here and she sound good, she does not look how she sound. Me being hard-headed, the same girl kept calling like, bruh, she gotta be fine. Let me tell you what she said. Now, picture this now. Girl from out of town, sound good, got a good job. Her dude telling her she can't go out. So you gotta be trying to, cuff something, right?
Yeah,
so I'm telling you this.
It must be something to protect.
Right. So I'm telling you this. She said, bro, don't believe that. I think she was from Minnesota or whatever y'all used to call her. So I'm being hard-headed. She called and I'm like, hey, you want to get out? I'm trying to get you out, man. Forget your dude. I think he was out of town or working late or something. And she worked at East Mississippi. So I'm like, I come get you, bet. So I get to East Mississippi and her door to get out is on my right. I'm like, I see her at my peripheral. I'm not gonna look. I'm just gonna wait till she get to the car. Because if I look now, I might pull off. She knock on the door, I look. I said, bruh, come on, bruh. Bruh.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was so sad.
By the time you got into radio, Ted, I had enough. I had so many of those, hell must stop by the station to see you moments. You know what I'm saying? Not just in Meridian, you know what I'm saying? Back in, my college days, where I just like, I'm not going to do that no more.
Man, I so should have listened.
If I don't see you face to face, what's your request? Bye.
Let me tell you what I did though, and Jenny James called me a horrible person for this. I end up let me get in the car anyway. And she like, oh, you look just like you sound. Normally you'll throw a compliment back, but I couldn't. So we get to the club, and she walking before me, and she tells Jenny James, because she work at the door, she said, I'm with Tez. The look Jenny James gave me, like, what? I said, she you know what I'm saying? She with me, and she had to be back at work in 2 hours. So I'm like, I'll take you back. But I was so mad and hurt, I left her in the club. I don't know how she got back to work. I don't know. That's hindsight. That was horrible. She kept trying to follow me on stage, and I'm like, you can't come up here. We can't have people on stage like that.
So wait, you didn't even kick it within the club. You left her by herself in the club.
I did not. I went straight in the club, walked straight up to the stage where Mr. C was at. I ain't go back down. She tried to come up there. She like, come here. So I went, and she's like, can I come up there? I said, nah, can't nobody come up here. Can't nobody come up here. So I snuck off on the other side. You know, they had the stage where you go off. Nah, bro, I shouldn't have did that. That was horrible, dude. I'm a bad person for that.
Yeah, you are.
She probably got fired.
You know, when somebody tell you, I tried to warn you.
So that was your best part. What's your worst part, Meridian, if any?
Worst part of Meridian? I don't know. I mean, all those meetings behind all those meetings behind clubs and club owners. You know, so I didn't, because I mean, like I said, when we started rolling with the clubs, there was a lot of people mad at us.
Yeah.
Because anytime somebody was going to do a big party, we were like, oh, they got people excited to go out, start a concert.
Yeah.
Let's make that money. Everybody already got their outfits. They going somewhere.
That's how Freeman almost got me fired. We had a party on the same day. And I'm on the radio talking, telling everybody come see me, come holler at me, let my commercials play. He got his commercials playing or whatever. And nobody showed up to his party. Like 0 people. I think I was at the Midnight Sun. Like nobody came to his party. Next day he showed up with the whole log. I get called upstairs. I'm like, bro, you got the whole log?
That dude told me one time, well, it wasn't me. He told the owners of the station that I sabotaged his party. And he just said me. Like, I ain't own no club. I ain't had no stakes in nothing. Like, I was a hired help. He told him, like, I sabotaged his party by throwing the party the same night that he did his. No, the party hadn't even come up yet. He was like, he throwing a party the same night I'm throwing mine. It was a phone party. A first college night phone party.
Oh, so he was doing phone party way back then.
Yeah, it was. I want to say this was like 06.
Okay, yeah, this is when I was about to be out the door. Okay. They gave me the station gave me an ultimatum. I had to leave. They gave me an ultimatum.
What did you do?
One, by this time, I couldn't get into no clubs because they were fighting and shooting. Like, I couldn't get nobody's building. So my last resort was the skating ring. So I went and got a second job. So I would leave my first job at 5, be at the station at 6, do my shift. Then after a while, they was like, well, somebody need to be doing street team. I said, well, I don't get paid enough. So they said, well, you're gonna have to make a choice. So I'm like, shh, I gotta leave. So now I'm in Meridian with a regular job. So I'm like, I can't be in Meridian with a regular job. I'm about to leave. So I left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it was so much club money. Like, I never asked for a raise in Meridian because the club was paying so much. Like, me and C, even when Jigga got there, me and Jigga, we was doing, if we wasn't doing $2,000 a week, we wasn't doing nothing.
Exactly.
Like, if I can't get $2,000 a week, somebody playing with my money.
You know what I'm saying?
So
he was killing. And even though I think Sip was getting over on me.
Yeah, I mean, it was a couple of times we knew people was getting over on us, but it was still so much money left out there.
Right.
What he took, $400?
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? It was that. Like, me and C had this thing. Like, we started out with like, we gotta come home from one club with at least $1,000. Every Thursday we have to make at least $1,000, and that's just on Thursday. Like, if we don't $2,000 to where each of us have $1,000, like, it's not even worth it no more.
Exactly. Last question. Well, one of the last questions.
Right.
I asked everyone to tell the people something that happens on radio that they may not know happens. Like, I like to tell people there's really not a caller number 10. Just who's ever the loudest, whoever the crunk is.
You never did a caller number 10?
Do you have anything that you can give up? I know you don't want to give up much. Any secret out there?
I don't want to say it's a secret. People found out later on that when we did those 3 CD prize packs, it was typically 3 CDs that we were trying to get rid of. Yeah, because I mean, we got boxes and boxes of CDs back then. So, we give a 3 CD prize, because that's what we did in Monroe. We did a 3 CD prize pack. And it was 3 CDs. What was on them, that was on you.
Right.
Last month, you might
like the mystery CDs.
Yeah, it was like people would always ask, what kind of CDs I get? Free ones,
bruh.
3 of them, yours.
Man, I appreciate you sitting down talking to me, man. I can't wait till the reunion when everybody can get on here and chop it up, and we hadn't seen or talked to each other in a while, man. So,
man, I appreciate you for doing this, man. I appreciate you for having me. Like I said, bro, we can, when everybody get on, I mean, I'm sure there'll be plenty more stories that you hadn't heard that will pop up.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to extend the time on that one. There'll be no cutoff. We just gonna go.
Did Freeman tell you he tried to come beat me up in the club with a boat oar?
No, he didn't. What?
See, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we gonna get into that in the reunion then.
Let me tell you what I did for you tonight, bro. I'm not even close to home. I was out somewhere, and you're saying the time was coming up. I was like, it's a 45-minute drive home. I could do that and be late, or I could just pull over. And man, I'm standing. I don't have no room in this hotel, but I'm standing outside the hotel, outside the highway. You know what I'm saying? To do this for you, bro. Bro,
that's love, dog. That's love, dog. Man, I so appreciate that, man, because I'm learning each episode. I learn something new, and I learn a new technique, man, and I appreciate that, bro.
For sure, you burned out
my
minutes.
You be safe now, because if something happened to you, I'm gonna feel bad. So you make sure you be safe now. Put your seatbelt on. Don't stop at no.
Hey, chill out. Just ruin your life.
Don't stop at no random places. Don't get raped. Nothing. Just be careful.
I'm gonna go die. Just ruin your life.
All right, man. Appreciate you. You be careful, dog.
For sure. Peace.
Yeah.
That's right. He did it, Mr. T-E-Z. Down with your boy, D-A-V-I-D. Banner, baby. Mr. Mississippi himself.